Hi guys, welcome to another episode. Today we are making a delicious sheet pan salmon that comes together in about 30-ish minutes. It's paired with roasted potatoes, some crispy chickpeas, and we're throwing on an herby yogurt sauce that you have to stick around to see how I make it because it is truly fantastic. And we're doing this all with Mowi salmon, which is fresh and never frozen, absolutely delicious, so buttery. You have to make this recipe. Let's get into it. So I love that this recipe is super easy. The first thing we're gonna wanna do is throw about a pound of these little cutie potatoes onto the sheet pan. Look at this sad guy, little sad guy. We're tossing him. And then we're gonna add some chickpeas that have been rinsed and drained. Next, we're gonna chop up a red onion. We're just actually gonna thinly slice it, and this is going to get nice and roasty and sweet in the oven. I actually saw on Instagram the other day that you can save your onion peels and like garlic peels, anything discarded from an onion, and cook your rice with it, which I thought was really interesting. I might try it, but just like to infuse a little more flavor in there. Why not? Discard those sad guys. So this recipe, oh, almost cut my finger off. So this recipe actually came to me because I love getting people to enjoy salmon all different types of ways. And you know, as a busy mom, I love having a sheet pan meal on hand, something that I can just throw in the oven and have it all cook on the same pan, take it out, and then we're done. We're ready to eat. That is especially important to me because I have 3 little boys and they're hungry monsters. So a quick sheet pan dinner is essential. So toss this all together. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil here. One of the reasons I call this my spiced salmon is because we've got a wide array of spices here. So I'm using paprika, I'm using thyme, I'm using cumin, and some garlic powder. And we're gonna add about half of that to the chickpeas, potatoes, and onions. Sprinkle it on. We're gonna reserve the other half for coating the salmon. And then you're gonna use clean hands and just give it all a nice toss. So everything is well coated with the spices. Now what's great about this recipe is that you throw this in, the potatoes kind of par bake while you get the salmon ready. So there's not a lot of effort involved, minimal ingredients that you are using, but tons of flavor and tons of nutrition, which is what I'm always going for with a really healthy dinner for my family. Spread that into an even layer, and then you're just gonna stick this in the oven and bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Next step in our sheet pan dinner situation that we are creating is to open up this package of salmon, and I love the marbling on the salmon already. It looks fantastic, so buttery. So the great thing about the Mowi salmon is not only is it beautiful and delicious, it's always fresh, never frozen, but also they come in a bunch of different sizes. So they have individual portions. I like to get this 30-ounce size because it's great to feed my family, but lots of different options you can check out on their site. All right, we are going to cut this into individual servings. My knife just runs straight through this salmon. Oh my goodness. All right, that looks really good. Cutting it will also make it easier to just place in between the potatoes and chickpeas when we cook it. I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're gonna spice up the salmon. I am gonna drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil over the salmon. You don't need much. Like a tablespoon or 2. And then I'm gonna sprinkle that same spice mixture of garlic powder, paprika, cumin, some thyme, and some salt just right over the salmon. Aaron, can you get close up here? I've got a lot more, so. I just love a really good spiced salmon, you know? Adds so much flavor. You don't need to do a lot to salmon to make it taste incredible, especially with this Mowi salmon. All right, clean hands are going in to rub that spice mixture into the salmon. And that's it. We're just gonna let that sit while the potatoes and chickpeas cook, and let's whip up that delicious herby yogurt sauce that gets drizzled on top of all of this. Stay tuned. Who's ready to make some sauce? You're ready to make some sauce. So this is a really quick sauce to whip up. I love an herby yogurt sauce on just about everything and anything. You can use whatever leafy herbs you have in your fridge. So if you have leftover parsley, cilantro, dill, chives, those are all excellent additions. So we are gonna start off with 1 cup of whole milk Greek yogurt. If you wanna go fat-free, that's totally fine, but I love a whole milk Greek yogurt because it just adds a little something, something. You know what I mean? So we're putting that into a blender. Now I've also made this with just mixing all the ingredients in a bowl. That's totally fine if you don't want to whip out your blender, but I love how nice and green this sauce gets when it's mixed up and blended really, really nicely. Next up, some garlic. I like to roughly chop that, throw it in. If you are mixing this in a bowl, I recommend grating the garlic. A little squeeze of lemon juice. If you're doing this with your hands and you're not doing it with a juicer, just make sure you put your hands underneath so you're catching any of those seeds. You don't need much. And then we're gonna add in some of those nice leafy green herbs. Oh. Parsley going in. Some dill. I love dill. Dill should be on everything. It's my latest herb obsession. That's all I have in my fridge today, so that's what's going in. And then we're gonna add some nice kosher salt, just a little bit. I think that's it. Blend it all up. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. And I bet you it is going to smell even better. Smells similar to tzatziki.
So good. Yep. Yep. Wow. Yeah.
It's amazing. And very simple to throw together. Like I said, herbs that you have on hand, but it really helps to brighten up this dish. Pairs well with those spices on the salmon. Oh, that means we're almost ready to throw our salmon in, so let's go. Oh my gosh. Not only does this smell incredible, but I can hear the sizzling of the potatoes. Little cuties. Okay, so here's the deal. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna make room on your sheet pan. Just kind of push everything off to the edges. Just get on in here. I also love that by the end of this, these chickpeas are gonna crisp up. They're gonna be nice and roasted. And it just gives so much texture. The softness of the potatoes, the crispiness of the chickpeas, the sweetness of the red onion, so good. All right, so throw the salmon wherever you can fit it. Avoid putting it on top of the chickpeas or the potatoes. You can just kind of fill in the gaps, fill in the spaces. Okay, I gotta rearrange this so it's like nice and cute. Now all we're gonna do is throw this back in the oven until the salmon is perfectly cooked and flakes nice and easily. I'm excited. Look at that. Look at these potatoes. They're perfectly cooked. So tender, crispy on the outside. The chickpeas, that's hot.
Be careful, too hot.
Really, really good though. Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed. All right, so let's do a little sauce action and then we're gonna finish it off and get our plate on. We're gonna do a little bit of salt on the potatoes just to finish it off. A little more flavor. Ooh, black pepper. A little hit of black pepper. You can never have too much black pepper in my life. Anybody's life. And then we're gonna spoon this gorgeous sauce over the top. It just brings this beautiful color to the dish. Nice herbs, little garlic, brightness from lemon. Not too much because you can always do more on your plate later. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of lemon zest. Again, just to add some brightness to all those spices. And because it feels a little springy, you know? Some more fresh herbs on top, some parsley, some dill. My recipes, I'm all about building. We just keep creating layers and layers of flavor. And if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm just gonna skip the fresh herbs on top and the lemon zest, don't do it. Don't do it. It's gonna make all the difference. Just stop. I can't stop putting fresh herbs on top. That's so pretty. So what I like to do when I plate the salmon is add a little bit of arugula to my plate because I'm all about the greens. I'm also gonna add just a drizzle of olive oil. Just like a little drizzle of olive oil. It's kind of empty. Just for a little flavor. And then, I need a spatula. And get our plate on. What's my favorite piece? That's my favorite piece. Do a big scoop of potatoes, onions, and chickpeas right on top. This is gonna be so good. And then we're gonna add our salmon right on the side. Oh, move potato. That is so beautiful. Now I'm looking at this and really wanting to add some feta, so you could totally add some feta if you'd like, because I think it would pair beautifully with this. And if you want to add even more fresh herbs on top, more lemon zest, a little salt, whatever you're feeling, I'm gonna do just a teeny bit more sauce. Right here, oh, gotta take that onion off. And drizzle a little bit more sauce on. And that's it. That is a plate of deliciousness that I need to get into. This salmon looks incredibly buttery. The sauce, the potatoes, I've already tried the potatoes like 3 times. I can't stop eating them. The herbs, it's just some chickpeas in there, some arugula. Oh my God. That is so freaking good. Look at that. Perfectly tender, so buttery and flaky. Wow. An easy sheet pan meal that the entire family is going to gobble up. Let me know if you try this in the comments. I'm gonna share the full recipe below. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, because there are more good recipes coming your way.